Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
Here we go. We got set, ready? Great. Gun.
Now a first down throw for Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. I'm not sure exactly what they had planned for play number one from scrimmage, but I can guarantee it wasn't that interception.
No doubt about that one, because in their daydream, this was going to be a dream play to get things started. Instead, it turned into a nightmare for them.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go.
After the interception, here's Rosen. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Stop your whining.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On second and 11 now. Rosen, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Rosen looking to throw and finding the tight end Hooper. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down. McCrane able to knock this one through, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Let's go.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Not the way they wanted to begin things yet. The interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, y'all. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Gun.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down.
Greg. Express.
Check 59, Mike.
Out of the gun, Newton. And Wilson has it. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you get a heck of a tight end candidate.
I'm going to come back to you.
Great. Express.
They'll run on first down. It's Harris, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
This is McCaffrey. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again, because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Here I come.
Mike, 55.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, baby.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now Ito Smith. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. He's got a 1st down past the 30. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 68 yards on the ground.
And the Falcons first down.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
Middle.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
At the 9-yard line.
Mike is 59. I'm on. Check.
Smith. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. They get 7 there, but it brings up fourth. McCrane's kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss. We're only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
Now a draw play to McCaffrey. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. The shotgun snap for Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now, their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rosen, complete. Smith has it. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Watch the screen.
Check.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
3rd and long here for Rosen. Escaping the pressure right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Pulled in at the 24. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
8. Right there in the middle, 55.
Back to throw, Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver turned that man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find any.
Pass on 2nd down. That'll leave him trying to convert. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Not that much space. He's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you, picking up extra yardage.
Stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning. Don't get
Newton throwing again. Buying time, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the 1st. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 7-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Come on, D.
Now it's Smith running right, and he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they'll get him down up past the 15. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta.
1st down, Falcons.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. Rosen will throw. They'll set up the screen to Smith. He's got a 1st down past the 30. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Off the play fake. Here's Rosen. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big pickup of 38.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Let's go, baby.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now it's Smith, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 25-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check right. Watch it, divide.
Pick me up. Here we go.
Newton now to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
10 more yards. Brought down at the 35-yard line.
On 2nd and very short. Newton nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Deion Jones. Here's Newton. Being chased out left. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 14 yards, good for a Panther 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
Newton. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Big series right here. So we got to step it up. 45's the mic. Go.
To throw again. Newton. Flushed out right. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. It's the fullback. His first NFL reception goes for 6 as they are now on the board here in the first half. Graham Gano on for the extra point. Seven. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. Half out on top as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. To begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment.
Something else.
Hey, Haywood!
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. And he goes down. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there. Well, there was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Ready?
It's Rosen. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Brian Burr time and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Gun.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Let's get it.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Double time. 4 down.
Express! Great!
Mike 55.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Ready? 180. 8. 8.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
3rd and 2, Newton. He's got daylight past the 20, and he will score. Touchdown, Falcons.
It's my boy.
Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Now the Falcons will bring the offense back out, and they'll go for 2. After the interception, here's Rosen. Whoa, what happened there? No good. Off the crossbar, and it comes back. A very poor effort from PAT distance. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Kill.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Ready? Look at it.
55. I got you.
Express.
Operating from the gun, Newton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Newton. They're able to locate Wilson. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
20.
Newton now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Mike.
Ready? 88.
55. Mike.
Gun. Ready?
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newton, and finding the tight end Wilson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Operating from the gun, Newton nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On the draw, this is Smith. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll run with Smith, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Now it's Rosen. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. And that's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play, and who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
They set him top. Middle.
Where's 52?
They want to go to the air again with Rosen. Short in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've skates pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Give him a return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many drives.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
These guys have punted 4th to 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Right there in the middle, 55. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Out of the gun, Newton. There he goes, left side. Touchdown. His second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. He took off. I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limit. And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
A 5-point game. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last. Foot up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, the game offensively, put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down for the Falcons.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Rosen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Falcons on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock. Really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 11-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Great. Check 26, check 26.
He is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd.
And we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better.
Yeah, there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Panthers on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Kill.
The shotgun's rifle one deep left side. And that a wide, bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
Every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter what you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. But this game kind of... Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons push further out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it player. When I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. The tackle.
Nice.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. Punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Newton flush to his right. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On first down, this is McCaffrey. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, McCaffrey slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
A loss of a yard on the play. It's now 3rd down and 4.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Gun.
A gain of 6. That's another Panthers first down.
Gun.
At the 50-yard line.
From the 50, Newton. Wilson's got it complete. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
That's another Panthers first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Gun.
Check 55, Mike. Exit.
Newton to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
We got him.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
59, Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
A first throw for the backup Jackson. This is brought in by Gibson. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 17-yard line. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Here's Jackson to throw. That one caught by Gibson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
And And Jackson throwing once more. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get, and he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point try good by Gano. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They go back to the ground with Smith. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing now is Rosen. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the carry, here's Smith. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Falcons push further out in front. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Following the touchdown, McCrane set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the run, Newton going to throw. Got his target, Samuel. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Falcons. And that should just about seal it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realized there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for Atlanta, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.